Hi folks, my name's Sam, welcome to Helpful Home DIY. Today I'll be showing you how to remove plaster from brick walls. Not quite as simple as you might think. Now you can use a normal hammer and bolster. Bolster is a chisel-like tool, pretty heavy duty chisel. I opted to use a quicker method, a much quicker method, which was an SDS drill and a wide chisel bit on the end of it. The SDS drill has a capability to just use the hammer action instead of turning. So when you've got a chisel bit on the end of that, you can just use it to hammer away at the plaster. Makes the job so much easier. I'll just go now quickly to show you, give you a quick demonstration of me using the SDS drill. Okay, so SDS drill, bolster on the end, just on hammer action, not with tape. Definitely you want a mask because it's going to get pretty dusty. Definitely ear defenders. You probably have to wear goggles, but that's optional. And I'll give you a quick demonstration. Okay, so after that quick demonstration, I just got on with it. So if I get the time lapse going, hopefully there, you can see, obviously I'm not actually working this quickly, but the whole course of this time lapse is, I think it's about an hour and a half, and I got just over half the room done. If I used a hammer and bolster, probably an extra couple of hours I should think, plus maybe scuffed hands and aching muscles. Okay, so I really want to reinforce a point about using an SDS drill for this. You don't have to buy one, you can hire one from your local hire depot, and our hire station do them. If you did buy one, it'll cost you probably about £100 for a very good one. The one I use is a Bosch Professional, can't remember the model number, but it's well worth the money. Just to really reinforce the point, I'm just going to do a quick comparison of using the SDS drill with the chisel bit versus the usual hammer, bolster and chisel method. Ready? Now, hammer and bolster. Okay, you get the point. So much quicker, so much easier. Okay, so I hope that really reinforces the point about using an SDS drill, how it can save your hands from being scuffed using the hammer. It saves you a lot of time. And to be honest, it does do a better job at removing the plaster. So while I get this time lapse on the go, this is the second half of the room. This half took me another hour. Again, with a hammer and bolster, you're probably talking an extra couple of hours on top of that. Now, hopefully that's finished. The next thing I want to really point out is there's a couple of things to watch out for. Such as electrical cables that are usually hidden within the plaster, not embedded in the wall. So I'll just skip to another video, I'll just make that clear for you. If you look here, you can see we've got the socket and the trunking. This is a metal plate that goes over the wire that goes down to the socket. So it's not actually buried in the wall, quite common, buried within the plasterwork. Obviously when you're going along at 50 miles an hour with the SDS or even just a hammer and bolster, you can quite easily hook under that and then get the wire, and obviously that metal conductor, being the bolster, will transfer the electricity to you. So it's something to watch out for. Usually, most cases, if it's done properly, the trunking and the wire should go vertically up from the socket. Don't rely on that at all. In a lot of cases they go at a slight angle. Okay, so this is light switch, this goes off at an angle here. So if you haven't taken the plaster off above the light switch, but you are starting from, say, ceiling level, and you're going along, you think, well, it's fine, because going vertically up from the light socket takes you to here. So you'll be going along here thinking you're okay. Not quite the case, it goes at a bit of an angle. The other thing to watch out for is it's not
these things are not always above sockets. So to my surprise, I came across this one here. There is no socket here. Now, I nearly demolished it. There's a bit of a bit in there where I caught it, and that's how I realised it was there. So maybe a detector would be a good idea. Now, the other thing to think about as well is when we come to replastering it all, I'm going to be putting some sort of shelves up, things like that. It's a good idea to make a note of where the trunking is, especially if it's at an angle. So what I'll do is I'll do, as I usually do with most things, a CAD drawing, so I can just save it on my computer. Don't have to keep it in a hard copy then. I'll just mark positions on all the walls of all the trunking, so that when I come to put up shelves and things like that, I can just quickly refer to that. I know exactly where the trunking is and where the electrical cables are. Okay, so a really good tip is, obviously what you want to achieve is a flat wall, so you don't want any little lumps and bumps of plaster left over when it comes to putting the plasterboard on the wall, or if you're plastering straight onto the wall, any lumps and bumps will just get in the way. The best way to do this is, as you are chiselling it off, just keep an eye on the wall. If you see any lumps and bumps, take them off. Try not to think, oh well, I'll just get the majority of it with the SDS and then go round later on with a hammer and chisel to get those little bits off. Yes, that's great, but you might as well, as you're chipping the plaster off, just get as much as you can. That way there's less chance of missing those lumps and bumps later on, which will cause you a headache when it comes to putting the plasterboard on. So don't forget to check out my blog post on this. There's a ton more information and hints and tips that you will find invaluable if this is going to be your next project. You can check it out at helpfulhomediy.co.uk/how to remove plaster from brick walls. There'll be a link in the show notes down below. And if you're watching this on that blog page, then read through the text. It will save you time, it will save you money, it will keep you safe, and it will help you better plan how to remove plaster from brick walls, because as I point out below, it's not just removing plaster. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful, and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you soon. And finally, I think it's really worth mentioning this, the cleanup operation after. No. This is a test, probably looks a bit high, check for lighting and sound. Testing the sound about 1.5 meters away. Testing the sound about 0.5 meters away. The lens needs a bit of a clean. And we're going to test the background sounds in the other room. Hold on, Charlie. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Ow! You just...
We'll go. You gotta go, oi!